Hi, I'm Scout Forsythe. I've been dancing with American Ballet Theater for about 6 years. I'm in the Corps de Ballet. I started dancing in Southern California when I was 11 years old. I fell in love with it. It was something that was really hard for me, and I loved a challenge, so I really got into it. I attended ABT Summer Intensive when I was 15 and 16 years old. And then after that, when I turned 17, I joined Studio Company, and I was there for 1 year, and then I went into my apprenticeship for a couple months, and then I got hired as a Corps de Ballet member. My favorite thing about spring is seeing all the kind of trees that lose their leaves and go dormant during the winter start to have buds on them. Whenever I go to ABT, I have to walk through Union Square. And it's always so fun because I walk through every day to see the progression of all the flowers that are starting to happen. There's just something about spring. It's just starting to get warm. There's like a buzz. There's birds everywhere. So it's that coming out of dormancy from winter, and there's like a new life that's being breathed into the world. And that's probably my favorite thing about spring. Alexei Ratmansky's ballet, The Seasons, is inspired by every season that we have here, winter, spring, summer, and fall, all of them, and he found music that inspired him within his creation, and I think he really took a lot of time and effort into placing which piece of music matches with which season, and his inspiration came from that. And I remember him telling us when he said, okay, I'm doing this ballet called The Seasons, but I want you to be more than the seasons. I want you guys to be the power that comes behind the seasons. So it's not just, oh, I'm a flower, I'm in spring. It's, you're the new life coming in. You're that brand new fresh air. So it was way more powerful than just the surface level stuff that you see of spring. The first thing that I thought about when I was going to be dancing spring was, what was my costume gonna be? I was really hoping it'd be like something like very flowery and stuff. And I was just curious about the movement quality that we were going to be doing, because when I think of spring, I think of small things growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So I was kind of excited. I was very excited to see how the movement was going to how he was going to match his movement to spring, and if I had an idea of what was going to happen, or it was just going to be completely different. So it was kind of more of a guessing game on how we were going to dance as spring. Portraying a season through dancing, I always tap into the feeling of what it's like. So I think of, you know, all the ideas of spring, like I said earlier, how there's new life, there's activity happening, there's this new era of life that's coming in and budding and stuff. So I think of that feeling of that, like almost like that big yawn coming out of winter, and that's kind of the feeling that I go in with. And that's how I try to portray a character that's not actually a person. I didn't necessarily give myself a character, but when we went for costume fittings, they had this pink silk fabric. I don't know if it was silk, it might have been satin, but it was that shiny metallic-y kind of color, and it was pink, and the way it was just fitted, and we had these little like black straps on them, and the tutu, it reminded me of a tulip. And so that was kind of the idea that I got in my brain of like, I'm a dancing tulip right now that's just coming out of winter and showing my beautiful colors for the first time. I was happy to be casted as spring. We were lucky though, whatever season we did 2 seasons, so I was spring and summer. Fall. Spring and fall. I wasn't summer. No, it was spring and fall. So secretly, I kind of wish I was summer, because that is my favorite month, or like my favorite season of them all. It's when my birthday is, so I think that has something to do with it. I'm glad I wasn't winter, because winter is not my favorite, and I just think about being cold, and I don't want to dance in the cold. there was a lot that went into this ballet. It was one of the ones where we didn't have a lot of time to go on stage and, you know, kind of finish it before we performed it. We were still changing things the day before the show and the day of the show. I think the best was all of us coming to a dress rehearsal not knowing like what our headpieces were, anything was, and they just kind of started throwing things at us last second, and we were just pinning stuff in our hair or, you know, putting these earrings in last minute and just going out on stage. But for spring, there was the opening part. We could never, ever fully get the part where we go on stage and then kind of come off. The music was so confusing, and I think the first 2 times we did it on stage, we forgot it or messed it up somehow, and then Alexei at the last second was just like, no, we're just not gonna do it, come in on the later part. So we all had to run around backstage and go to the other side and then come back on for our actual entrance. It was hectic, but it was fun. I am so happy I got chosen for a pod with ABT. We're gonna be up in Costa Mesa, which is perfect because I'm home quarantining in Southern California. And I think that's what I'm most looking forward to is March 13th was the day that we had to leave ABT and they had to shut the doors. So now kind of coming into March again and springtime, I'm gonna be dancing again, which is crazy because it's been almost exactly a year. It'll be a year and maybe a week or 2. And we'll all be dancing again. So I'm really excited just to be performing again with ABT. So that's what I'm most looking forward to this spring.